I started to put the decks down one by one and start to put the tiny pieces on. I found that is not the way to go, because when you're trying to sandwich all the other pieces on top, it gets hard when you try to move around like the very, very fragile details, such as like the lifeboats and as well as all these little parts on the back here. Now, this one has the World War I paints on it for transporting troops and stuff. So as you can see here, hey everybody, Kleine here, and today I have the FToys Navy Kit of the World Volume 4, and we have the Revival of the Titanic. Now, this includes 8 different ships to collect, and is in 1 to 2000 scale, and the ships include all of the Titanic's sister ships, which include the Olympic, the Britannic, and of course the famous Titanic. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Alright everybody, so here is the FToys Revival of the Titanic. So I picked up 4 of these here on my trip to California. So if you want to find them in California stores, you can definitely find them. I picked these up at Tokyo Central, and you can also find these at Mitsuwa as well. So, looking at the back of one of the boxes here, as you can see, we have 8 different ones to collect, and there's 3 types of ships to collect. We have the Olympic, the Titanic, and the Britannic. So on option type A version, we have on the stand, and on type B, we have a different paint job and as well as a little display water as well. So at the top here with the Olympic for type A, we can get it on the stand with its normal colors, and also with type B, we can get it on the water with its World War I paint as well. And also on this Titanic, we have a daytime Titanic with no lights on the stand for type A, and type B we have it on the water. Type A for the Britannic, as you can see, we have the normal colors of the Britannic, and for type B we have the hospital ship paint for the type B. And finally at the bottom here we have another Titanic. Type A is the nighttime with lights on Titanic on a stand, and type B is the Titanic in the water with the lights on. So let's go ahead and open up each of these and see which ones we get. So here's box number 1, and we have 3 other boxes that will open up as well. Alrighty. So it looks like we are just supposed to rip this open at the top here. And before I open it up, if you guys do not know what FToys is, FToys, they make really, really cool little model kits that also come with like a little gum. So if you're kind of confused why we have nutrition facts on a model kit, that is why. And if you want to check out more FToys video that I do, I also did some on like a GTR, a ship, and a bunch of different planes as well. If you want to go check those out in the description, you can. I do a lot of videos on FToys, and I really like them because they do some really cool little model kits. So let's go ahead and open this up. And as you can see here, it comes with little chewing gums that you can chew on while you work on your model kit. And let's take a look at our first ship that we get. And ooh, looks like this one is going to be on the water. And it looks like we got number 2, the normal Titanic, and we also get it on the water. So this is really cool. And here, of course, we have our pieces. And let's take a look at these and open it up. And I'll just show you the spruces and the pieces that it comes with. And oh, that is not good. It is taped together. Okay, but anyways, as you can see, it comes with 4 spruces, and it also comes with the water piece and a bunch of other various spruces here. And so this was our first one that we get. We got the second normal Titanic with the water. And actually, I got a knife here, so I'll just open it up. Let's see, where's it taped? Right here. 1, and over here as well. Alrighty. So as you can see here, we've gotten our water piece. And it looks like we've gotten 6 loose pieces here. And we've also got 4 spruces of different items to go on the deck. Alrighty, so this was our first one that we unboxed here. The normal Titanic, the second one down, type B, with it on the water. So this is really cool, and let's go ahead and open up our 3 other ships. Oh, I do not know where to put this. Okay, there we go. Alright, here's our next one. Now, the two other ones that I'm at least hoping to get now that we have a Titanic, I'm really hoping to get Type B Britannic because I'm a big fan of the Britannic with the hospital ship paints, and as well as the Olympic in the World War I paints, because I think it looks really cool. So let's hope we get it in these next three. So let's go ahead and open this up. And our gum, of course. And it looks like we have gotten... Ooh, okay, so we've gotten the Type A Britannic, as you can see, with the stand. So this one is in the normal colors, and I'm pretty sure this comes with the... Yeah, pretty much the same stuff, but we get a stand there. So this is our second ship that we got, the Type A Britannic. I was really hoping that we were to get Type B, because this is the one that I really want the most. So let's hope we have our luck in the next two. Alrighty. Oh, I forgot to keep this in here. Our gum, of course. And, ooh, let's go. Okay, this is really cool. We got the Type B Olympic. Wow, this is really nice. Okay, so as you can see through here, we get the water piece and as well as a really cool painted ship here. Really nice. So I'm pretty happy with this. Now the only one that I'm hoping to get left now is the Type B Britannic, which is this one right here. But I'm pretty happy with what we got now. So this is really cool. Alrighty. So let's open our last one. I'm really hoping that it is the Britannic in Type B. So let's go ahead and open it up. And here's the gum, of course. And let's see, what do we get? Oh, okay. So this is the Type B 4th Titanic, which is still really cool. I think this is supposed to simulate like a sort of nighttime look, but I'm still really happy with what we got. But I think my most anticipated one was the Type B Britannic, but either way, these are still super duper cool on what we got here. I'm pretty happy. And so as you can see here, we got our 4th Titanic, as you can see, but in this time it is Type B, where it is supposed to simulate a nighttime with the lights on. Alrighty, now that we went ahead and unboxed all of our ships, let's go ahead and start building them. Alright everybody, so I have finished building our 4 ships here, and I gotta say, they turned out really great with a lot of work. So let's go ahead and check out how each of these ships look. Okay everybody, so here is the 4 ships that we got. Now we got 2B, 3A, 1B, and 4B. So let's first take a look at 2B here. I'll just scoot these off to the side just a little bit. And here we go. Okay, so this one is the RMS Titanic, and this one is the Type B version in the daytime. So as you can see, it looks really nice on this water here. And I think it looks really detailed, and they put a lot of work into making the molds for this. And it's just really a good scale in 1 to 2 thousandths. It's really small, but it's not too small, as you can see. And there's just a lot of detail on the ship. There's like all the windows, and even the floor on the deck and stuff has like sort of the wood look, which is really nice. It's very hard to see on camera, but to the human eye, you can see that there's like little grooves in it to the actual like grain of the wood, which is really nice. It's very accurately modeled, and as you can see, it looks super duper cool. Just anywhere, honestly. And they got pretty much everything right on this. They got all the little details. And one thing that was a lot of work to do was to put the tiny pieces on. So there's these little cranes right here. I kind of forgot the name of them. I forgot the name of them, but I know that they're used to bring in stuff like the cargo to put into the ship. But there's a lot of them to put into, and that was sort of the part that took me the longest, as you can see. So there's like 2 up here, and then as you can see, there's 6 in the back. 1, 2, 3. And these took me the longest because you have to pretty much cut them out very thinly, put glue in it, and also use tweezers, which the 3 little tools that I used were little tweezers, spruce cutters, and glue. So that really helped out a lot. And the nice thing about FToys models is that they're all pre-painted for you, so it brings out the parts of having to paint them. And here's the top view as well. And the cool thing that I like is that these are all separate piece numbers. So these first 3 on the real Titanic were the only actual working smokestacks. The back smokestack, however, was a fake one. It was only there for looks, and they also made that true by using the fake vents. It looks very different compared to the other 3, which is a really nice detail. And they just did a really amazing job in designing this ship here. And this is, again, the 2B version, so it's the daytime in the water version. So as you can see, it's not the full ship, it's just actually flat underneath, and only half of the rudder is showing. So you can display it with this little water piece here, which comes in a couple of Navy kit collection. And as you can see, it just floats right on top of that. Now, one thing about the water that I do not really like, but it's also there for the support and the structural integrity of it, is these little 2 bars here, which honestly, if you look at it from a certain way, you can tell that there's obvious 2 bars there. I think if they were to get rid of that, it would look a lot better. But again, it is going to be flat down with a desk or a display case, so not too much big of a deal, but it's just the one thing. Now, this was, of course, the first one that I started to build out of the 3, and now each of these took me about an hour to make, and this one took me, I think, longer, because one thing that I noticed is that I started to put the decks down one by one and start to put the tiny pieces on. I found that is not the way to go, because when you're trying to sandwich all the other pieces on top, it gets hard when you try to move around like the very fragile details, such as like the lifeboats, and as well as all these little parts on the back here. But other than that, it's pretty easy to build, although it's not the most beginner friendly. But in the end, you come out with a really nice looking model that's really detailed for the scale, 1 to 2 thousandth. Pretty tiny. Alright, and next up we have 3A, which is the RMS Britannic. Now, my set, I would say, would be really complete if I were to get 3B, which is what the Britannic is most known for. It's HMHS version, or Her Majesty's Hospital ship, yes. And it has, on 3B, the colors of the hospital conversion, which is really, really what the Britannic is known for. But it is also unique that we have the regular colors of the RMS Britannic, because there's not too many models that have actually the standard colors. So taking a look at the Britannic, they got everything really, really nicely done on this. Now, to somebody who's not too familiar with the difference between the sister ships, I think people would have a hard time telling what's the difference between the Britannic, the Titanic, and the Olympic. But one of the big things here are, of course, the big lifeboats at the back, and as well, just the arrangements of how they are. And this does come with a nice stand that has a little golden font to it that says RMS Britannic. And also a cool thing about it is that the propellers and the rudder are actually there too, so there's a lot of nice detail. They're painted gold, and I thought these would be very, very fragile, but they're actually one solid piece, but that does not mean, of course, you're going to play with it, because this is supposed to be a decorated and displayed model. Now, one thing that I did have a little problem with here is that might not show up too well on camera, but as you can see, when I got this, I did not bend this. But there's a little bit of bend, so you can see that the wood comes off of the actual front part of the ship, as you can see. So it's a little bit bent, as you can see there. Might be a little hard to see on camera, but yeah, that's the only thing. But that, of course, wasn't the fault of the model of the ship. That was just a production error. And so far, from looking at this, I kind of see that I did get a little bit of smudges, which is not really, really good, because that, of course, looks very unprofessional from me, because I had the glue on my fingers. But other than that, they did a nice job in modeling the Britannic. I do wish, though, that I did get 3B, but I'm still very happy with what I got with this Britannic, so very, very nice job. Alrighty, now we're gonna go on to 1B here, which I think has to be my favorite out of them all. They're all my favorite, but probably the favorite of the favorite is this one because it's really unique. Now, this one has the World War I paints on it for transporting troops and stuff. So as you can see here, they have this beautiful sort of color on it to camouflage throughout the ocean. And so, as you can see, we have the blue and the black scheme here. I'll go on the ship for a second. And as you can see, it's just very, very nicely done, very nicely modeled by FToys. And now, one thing that I did find, though, was that there's a little bit of inconsistency, as you can see here at the smokestacks. Now, normally with the regular paint scheme, as you can see, that blue bar goes all the way down, but there's just a little bit of inconsistency here. As you can see, it wasn't painted fully all the way down, but that's not too much of a big deal. This was also fairly easy to put together, as you can see, and I'm not sure if I said Britannic before. It's the Olympic, if I did say it, now that I think of it, but yeah, this is the Olympic, and really, really nice job in the modeling as well. The same sort of pieces with all the little cranes and stuff, and as well as the smokestacks and the lifeboats. Just really, really beautiful job. And one thing that I do wonder as well, since these are pre-painted pieces and models, I'm not sure if they have a machine where they just, like, stamp it on, or if there's like a production line where they have a pool of, say, paints and they like dip it in. Because I'm pretty curious on that, because on the little black details on here, it almost looks like somebody took a machine press or something and sort of just damped it down in a tub of paint, but then comes this paint job over here. I'm not sure if they also do it with this or what they do, but it's really, really nice, and just a very, very cool looking finished model. And that is the Olympic. A really fine model. And now, finally, we have 4B. So 4B, this is the same RMS Titanic right here, but this is supposed to be a nighttime version with the lights on, which is really, really cool. And now, as you can see here, the color difference, actually, I'll just bring this in for comparison. The color difference, this one's just darker, and the top deck kind of looks like sort of, I don't know, like a tannish red or a brown red, to simulate it being nighttime. Now that is pretty cool, as you can see here. With all of the black sort of window area on the normal RMS Titanic, we now have it in a yellow, simulating that the lights are on. So it's the same model from the other Titanic there, just in a nighttime version, which I think looks really awesome. I'll just go around the ship here for a second. Yeah, very, very nicely done. And one thing that I think would have been cool, which would kind of be unique, but yet again, this is supposed to just be sort of a display piece. And plus, because of this blue here, if they were to actually include a miniature iceberg for this, since it is the nighttime variant. So I think that would have been a pretty cool addition, but then yet again, you'd have to scoot over your ship, and then you'd also have to make a iceberg tiny enough to fit there, which obviously in real life, you probably wouldn't be able to fit it on this patch of water here, especially with the scale of this ship. But overall, really, really nice job, and I like the addition that they added a nighttime version, which is really, really cool. And so, these were the 4 ships that I collected. I'm really happy with all of them, especially since I was pretty much able to complete the 1, 2, 3, and 4 ships. And oh, I got a little paint on my finger there, which is why we have some smudges, because when I was gluing these pieces down here, as you can tell, there's some glue leak through, and then I instantly touched it and got black paint on my hand, which is a no-no. But a very, very nice job done by FToys. A really, really detailed line of ships. Definitely not for beginners though. Definitely for the intermediate to expert level. But overall, it's a really, really, I mean, awesome job by FToys. I don't even know how they were able to pre-paint the tiniest details on these, especially for 1 to 2,000 scale. But I would recommend this to anybody who's a fan of any vessels or ships, or are just a fan of the sister ships of the Titanic. Now, a couple years back, I was super duper obsessed with the sister ships. I still am now, but not as much. I was like crazy over it, but this just brings back a lot of memories when I was super obsessed with always watching videos about the Titanic and the sister ships, and also wanting little models like these. So I'm really, really glad that I have these today, because I am still a big fan of the sister ships of the Titanic. So really nice models, and good job to FToys, and I definitely do recommend that you pick up one of these ships today. Alright everybody, so this was the FToys revival of the Titanic, and I gotta say, FToys did an amazing job in creating this model kit. I'm just very, very surprised with how well it looks for this FToys kit here. Now, this has got to be one of my favorite lines of FToys model, because of just how well done it is, and that they also displayed the 3 sister ships of the Titanic, which I really, really like. And also, I would recommend this to intermediate to expert level scale model kit builders. It isn't exactly the most easiest kit to put together, but it's fun for those who are already in the hobby. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you did, it would be very much appreciated if you were to like. And also, if you want to see more videos like these, be sure to subscribe. And if you want to be notified of when I first upload a video, be sure to hit the bell notification. So hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching, guys. Bye!